Today on Valley TV, 670 horsepower Chevrolet Corvette Z06 review. The most mind-blowing American supercar of 2023. Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're talking about one of the most impressive American sports cars ever made, the 2023 Chevrolet Corvette Z06. This car is not only astonishing, but also a true deal. It's packed with track-focused features and boasts a 670 horsepower engine that makes it more special than some cars that cost 3 times as much. So, let's dive into this review and find out what makes this car so special. Let's start with the design. The 2023 Chevrolet Corvette Z06 looks far better than its predecessor, the Stingray. The bigger wheels and tires, aggressive aero, and wider body make it look squat and sinister, far less awkward than the base car. The overall design is sleek and sporty, with every detail contributing to the car's high-performance nature. It's a car that looks like it's going fast even when it's sitting still. Moving on to the driving experience, let's talk about performance. The new Corvette Z06 is powered by a 5.5-litre flat-plane crank V8 engine that makes 670 horsepower at 8,400 RPM and 460 pound-feet of torque at 6,300 RPM. This engine is simply incredible. It drives and sounds hugely exotic, with a higher-pitched wail than the other recent American flat-plane crank V8 in the Mustang GT350. It revs to 8,600 RPM and will pull so manically to red line that it feels like it can go for another 1500 RPM. The car is connected to an updated version of the Stingray's 8-speed DCT, with a shorter final drive and a 6-plate clutch for the odd gears, along with other internal improvements that will trickle down to the base car. The Z06 is not just a fast car. It's also an incredibly capable track car. On the track, the Z06 is an absolute monster. The front end is extremely responsive and connected, but it never works counter to the rear end. The diff tune lets you get straight back to power, and then there's Performance Traction Management, or PTM for short, Chevy's truly wonderful traction control system. PTM is a true motorsport setup, one that takes every system into account and lets you mat the throttle earlier and with more confidence, restricting power to keep everything in line and make the car as fast as humanly possible. But the Z06 is not just a track car. It's also an incredibly enjoyable car to drive on the road. Even at half throttle, the engine has character, and leaving the gearbox in manual mode gets you as close to a real manual as possible. It's still fun even when you go slowly. The Z06 is not a car for boulevard cruising, but it's more than comfortable on the highway, sitting at 80 miles per hour in 8th gear, quiet and comfortable. Now, let's talk about some of the criticisms of the car. The Corvette Z06 has some suspect panel gaps, which is surprising for a car that costs $162,000. The interior is leagues better than every generation before, but the line of buttons for the climate control can be inscrutable in direct sunlight, and the steering wheel is still an awkward square shape that makes it tough to find a comfortable grip. The dual clutch gearbox will still occasionally deny downshifts. However, these are minor issues when compared to the incredible experience of driving this car. One of the things that makes the Z06 so special is how consistent and accessible all that speed is, and how you can stay far below its limits and still feel engaged. So many high-performance cars isolate you from the experience unless you're on the edge. The Z06 makes you part of the equation at any speed, with the wild engine and communicative controls keeping you involved at all times. It's a testament to the targets set by Corvette Executive Chief Engineer Taj Gupta and his team, who aim to combine the soul of the Ferrari with the clinical speed of the Porsche. With the proliferation of turbocharging and hybridization in performance cars, the Z06 was also likely the last chance the Corvette team had to make something this exotic, this wild, and this special. The mid-engine move finally makes sense, and GM's track record with performance cars has few blemishes, yet people always want to put them down based on perception, not experience. The Corvette Z06 is an absolutely unbelievable car and a true testament to the quality and excellence of American engineering. The Z06 is also the first Corvette since the C4Z R1 to offer an optional adjustable suspension that uses magnetoreological shocks. The dampers are smaller and lighter than before, and they are 45% stiffer in compression and rebound, with updated magnetoreological fluid to control them. In track mode, it's a true racing setup, and in tour, it's far more livable than before. The interior of the new Corvette Z06 is a step up from previous models. The seats are adjustable and comfortable, with plenty of leg room, and there's enough headroom for taller drivers. The dashboard is sleek and modern, with a 12-inch digital instrument cluster and a large 14-inch infotainment screen. The system is intuitive and easy to use, with sharp graphics and responsive touch controls. The materials used throughout the cabin are of high quality, with leather and Alcantara accents giving the car a premium feel. But what really sets the Z06 apart from its competition is the driving experience. The engine is truly remarkable, with power that's accessible and exhilarating. The exhaust note is pure, unadulterated muscle, and the car feels like it's ready to pounce at any moment. The steering is quick and responsive, with excellent feedback and a level of precision that's hard to find in other cars. The brakes are also top-notch, with excellent stopping power and good pedal feel. All of these elements combine to make the Z06 one of the most engaging and enjoyable cars to drive on the market today. And while the Z06 is certainly not cheap, with a starting price of $85,000, it's a true bargain when you consider its performance capabilities. In fact, it's hard to find a car that offers this level of speed, handling, and overall driving experience at a similar price point. This makes the Z06 a great choice for those who are looking for a high-performance sports car that won't break the bank. In terms of practicality, the Z06 offers a surprising amount of storage space for a car of its type. The trunk is spacious enough to hold a couple of overnight bags, and there's even a front storage compartment that can be used for additional luggage or other items. The Z06 is also surprisingly comfortable, with a suspension that's compliant enough to handle everyday driving, even on rough roads. As you can see, the new Z06 has plenty to offer for those who crave an unparalleled driving experience. The combination of its powerful engine, exceptional handling, and high-performance features make it one of the most thrilling cars on the market. But it's not just about speed and power. The Z06 also boasts a sleek, aggressive design that is sure to turn heads wherever you go. From the wider body to the bigger wheels and tires, this car looks like a true track star, and it performs like one too. Of course, as with any car, there are some drawbacks to the Z06 that should be noted. For one, the panel gaps could be improved, especially given the car's high price tag. Additionally, the steering wheel shape may not be comfortable for all drivers, and the climate control buttons can be hard to read in direct sunlight. Finally, the rear wing on the Z07 pack could have been higher, but it would have compromised rear visibility and trunk access. These are minor issues, but they are worth considering when evaluating the Z06. Overall, the 2023 Chevrolet Corvette Z06 is a triumph of American engineering, combining speed, power, and style in a package that is both accessible and exhilarating. So if you're a fan of high-performance sports cars, you owe it to yourself to check out the new Z06 and experience the thrill of driving one for yourself. Trust us, you won't be disappointed.